Welcome! It's a great day to be a miner because we got some new hardware, baby. This is the Canaan Avalon Q. We're going to open this thing up, unbox it, go over the specs, the features, and then, of course, we're going to set it up and tell you whether or not you should buy this thing. But first, let's go ahead and spin that intro. Yeah, so this is the Canaan Avalon Q, and first and foremost, where did we pick this up? We picked this up from the Indiegogo campaign. We bought this on launch. Yeah, we had this whole big saga about getting it in, getting it damaged, trying to get a return. We're gonna make a whole separate video talking about that, but today, we're just gonna go ahead and get this thing set up, get it mining, go over the specs, the features. Yeah, so Bitcoin, baby, it's on the rise. We need to get this thing open. We need to get it mining. But without further ado, you know what time it is, baby. RGB knife. Haha, just like that, we got the brown box out. So just like any of the other Canaan products, it comes in a really nicely packaged retail style box inside of the shipping box. They usually kind of like an Apple product or a really nice like computer tablet. It has the really nice retail type box, and it's usually packaged really nicely in the foam that's custom made for whichever miner you get. So yeah, Canaan Avalon Q. Transforming tomorrow, smarter efficiency, better lives. Canaan Inc. is committed to protecting the planet and devoted to green mining. Yeah, so they recycle, it's made with recycled material because we're gonna be burning like 1,700 watts mining Bitcoin on this thing. Let's save the planet, baby. That's what I'm talking about. All right, first and foremost, let's do the disclaimer. This item was paid for with our own cold hard crypto. This is not a sponsored video. Canaan did not send me this for free. Nobody took care of old Altered. Altered took care of Altered and picked this one up. And again, like we said, we actually bought this thing on the launch date that was several months ago, and then after some drama it finally got here, and it has sat waiting until Bitcoin went crazy, and then I'm like, hey, we should probably get this thing mining. So here it is. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing as well, and then get it actually on the table, and then we'll start going over it. Let's go. Bam, just like that, we got it out. Okay, so this guy comes inside the box. On the bottom is a giant piece of foam, then your actual main unit, and then this is kind of the top foam that goes right on top of it. But I just wanted to show you how it's actually boxed up. Right on top is your big instruction manual, your guide. You have a card right here that says mining pool card. This is actually it fell out, but this is the mining pool card. Then right here you have a slide out, and this is your power cable, power adapter. Then you have two inserts here. One says Wi-Fi receiver, one says anti-slip feet. So you grab the little handle, let's pull it out, and there our anti-slip feet are really engineered, high-tech. They're pieces of rubber with stick-ons. And then our Wi-Fi receiver should just be the same little USB type receiver that is used in the Canaan Nano 3S, because it has the separate little adapter. That's a little USB Wi-Fi adapter. So yeah, there is all of the parts for the unboxing. And then we're gonna actually open this thing up and look at it. So what comes in the power cable box? Really heavy duty, thick cable. It's using, I think that's a C13 connector that goes into the device itself, and then just your standard 3-prong plug. I can't remember what that one's called, but standard US 3-prong plug for your wall outlet. And get rid of that guy. And then this pool card. So let's look at the pool card. Connect to the world's leading crypto mining pool. This is an F2 pool. I'm pretty sure that Canaan and F2 pool are associates, so that's why they include this, and they try to drive their traffic there as well. And then let's look at the user manual. Here's the user manual. If we just flip through real quick, we don't usually use these things. User manual, it's got a number of different languages. First of all, it says we strongly recommend downloading and setting up the Avalon family app before using the Avalon Q for the best experience. So then they have a quick QR code where you can download the app. Personally, I'm not a fan of the app, but it's a Canaan thing, and there's not much you can do about that, so it is what it is. And then it says download, registration, mining pool, log out, first start of your Avalon, temperature, humidity, starting your Avalon Q, blah, 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 blah. Yeah. It's instructions, right? I don't know. Okay, so let's get this bag off of here and actually look at this big boy itself. Let's see how it looks. They got a big old pack of silica gel there to keep it from getting moisture, which is very ironic considering what happened to my last one. I'll just give you a quick rundown on what happened to the last one. It, DHL basically sat on it. It got destroyed by a flood, and then everybody jerked me around and didn't want to pay for the item that I sent back. But yeah, that's how that went. But Canaan did take care of me. DHL is the worst company to ever work with. Again, we'll go over the whole thing in our connected Saga video. We'll call it the Canaan Avalon Q Saga. We're lighting up the flood damage queue. All right. Super dry container, desiccant, do not eat. Yeah, that's definitely toxic to eat. There it is, man. Man, it's beautiful. It's basically like a server tower case. It's probably 25, 30 pounds, probably 30 pounds every bit. But there you got it. It basically looks like a computer tower, right? But this is a home Bitcoin miner. We're gonna go over the specs real quick. Then we're gonna go over the official description, the specs, the features, and then of course we're gonna get it set up and get it mining. So without further ado, check it out. Man, she is a beaut. Okay, so let's go over to the official website and we'll pop it up on the screen and we'll go over the actual official description of this guy. This is the Avalon Q. Q for your entry of home mining. I see what you did there with the Q and the CUE instead of the letter Q. Yeah, I agree. The Avalon Q is a professional home mining machine. Whether you're a Bitcoining, mining, an amateur, a professional player with limited conditions, or simply an individual looking to increase passive income, the Avalon Q is your best choice to move closer to your goals. With a power adaptation of 800 to 1600 watts, equipped with 164 nanometer process computing chips, it can deliver a maximum computing power of 90 terahash a second, continuously generating Bitcoin for you. It says up to 1600 watts, but I'm pretty sure they say 1680 is the official, and then I'm pretty sure it uses more than that actually at the wall. That's in high mode. Of course, it has different modes. We'll get into that. Okay, so some of the highlights, some of the features on this thing. It says smart design, extremely quiet with a minimum noise level of 45 decibels. That's pretty quiet, actually. Very low key. Overall size is similar to a computer case, making it inconspicuous wherever you place it. Highly functional, supports both LAN and Wi-Fi. Yep, we have our Wi-Fi adapter and we have an Ethernet plug-in. And then it says superb compatibility, super mode, 1600 watts, standard mode uses 1300 watts, and eco mode, 800 watts, compatible with all home circuits. Yeah, that 800 watts is looking real juicy to me. Quality assurance, there's a 360-day limited warranty starting from the first registration of this device. Hopefully that's from when I actually first set it up and not months ago when I ordered it. Quick problem diagnosis. Use the Avalon family app to conveniently conduct detailed inspections of your Avalon Q. And security first. We focus on the information security of the device through more rigorous encryption algorithms and handshake mechanisms. We try our best to reduce the success rate of Trojan programs in the local area network environment attacking the device, thus ensuring that your device only works for you. Yeah, that would be terrible, mining Bitcoin to somebody else's address. Okay, so then it shows the functions of this thing, the different layouts. We'll look at that in just a second on a close-up inspection. Then it says start mining. It's so easy. Set up the Avalon family app. Of course, it uses the app. And your Avalon Q can connect to the preset F2 mining pool via the internet. We are probably going to use a different pool, but we'll get into that when we get there. Each Avalon Q comes with an F2 pool service card. Again, we have used F2 pool, but I think we're going to use via BTC because that's what we prefer. And then it talks about the Canaan family app, shows you some pictures, gives you a barcode to download, And now let's go over the specs of this guy. First and foremost, the cost. It is officially on the Canaan website for $1,888. Of course, that is for the unit itself and does not cover import duties, which can be quite gross nowadays, especially in the US. All right, so specs. This thing will do 90 terahashes on 160 chip, 4 nanometer process, Asic chips. It says that the efficiency is 18.6 joules per terahash, which is terrific performance on power efficiency. It actually does way better efficiency on the Eco mode from Red Panda's testing. Shout out Red Panda. Then it also says that it uses USB and RJ45 for connection. That means that it's using a Wi-Fi adapter or direct plug-in Ethernet. And the official power usage down here says 1674. It can run on 110 to 240 volts, meaning you can run it on 240 or 120 from the wall. The decibels say that it ranges from 45 to 65 decibels, assuming that 65 is on the super, 45 is clear down on the Eco mode because you're using less power. The height, width, and length of this thing, length 455 millimeter, 130 width, 440 millimeter height. And then the weight is 10.5 kilograms for the unit itself, not the packaged weight. So where did we actually pick this up? We picked this up through Crypto Miner Bros. We actually got it cheaper. It was around $1,600, and we also paid way less duties here in the US. So I am affiliated with Crypto Miner Bros, but man, I'm just telling you, the tariffs, the ease of getting this product and getting it way quicker and cheaper, way worth it. So make sure to check them out as well before you buy. And yeah, so I think that covers the cost, the features, the specs, and all that. So let's do a close-up look, then we're gonna get it mining. So on the close-up look, we've got full metal shell, right? You've got the Canaan logo right here on the side. This panel actually comes off of here. You have 2 thumb screws right here to take it off. They did put a little warranty type safety seal here to see if you've opened it. I don't know how legal it is to use that as a void warranty type things. It says right here, invalid if torn up. This isn't one of those security ones. I believe I could even just peel the corner if I want to take this panel off, which I will later. The integrated power supply is up here on the top, like a lot of computers. So you got PSU, you've got your plug-in right there, you've got a power switch for on and off, venting, you've got hexagonal venting right here to blow through. It's using a pass-through design to push the air through this thing and massively cool it. If you want to see the whole internals, check out Red Panda's video. He actually shows the inside, and I believe Hobbyist Miner did a really good one as well. But yeah, you've got 2 massive fans on the back right here. And then as you get to the front main I/O panel, it does look really sleek. You've got, again, the hexagonal cubes right here. You've got the Canaan logo right there. You've got a little power button, a reset button, a power indicator, network indicator light. You've got your LAN port for your Ethernet, and you've got a little USB that has actually the Wi-Fi signal. So that's where this guy is going to go in there. And that's it. Like, that's the physical whole overview of this guy. Some little bit of metal screws, but overall it's a sleek, all enclosed unit. And yeah, so physical setup is really easy on this guy. We're only going to have to plug this in. This is our little Wi-Fi USB adapter. Why are USBs so hard to plug in unless you're looking directly at them? It's like somebody's sitting in there swatting it while you're trying to plug it in. Okay, so there is our Wi-Fi adapter. It's plugged in. Our power cord literally just plugs into the back here on this back side and runs right to the wall, standard US type plug. And then it's going to fire up, and then we're going to connect it with our Avalon family app. Then we'll add new device. It will search for it. It'll find it, we'll hit add, we can rename it then, and we can add it to our pools, and then of course we can change the settings to put it on different modes. Now, one caveat, if you are using just a standard home circuits, this thing runs, it says 1680 watts, right? a lot of people only have 15 amp or 20 amp circuits. I know this studio, for instance, is only a 20 amp circuit breaker. So if I'm pushing over 2000 watts, it's likely going to pop the circuit, and the breaker's gonna pop, and it's just gonna shut everything down in the room. So since I've got a number of little miners, there's probably 500 watts of solo miners right here, plus a couple other computers mining. We're gonna have to shut some of this stuff down before we fire it up. If not, we're gonna get a blackout. So without further ado, let's time warp and get ready to set this thing up. Ready, go. Bam, a bunch of this stuff is shut down so that we're gonna have enough bandwidth, enough power on this specific circuit. Yeah, we're just doing this for the setup video, and then of course we'll move it into the mining layer that can better handle the extra power usage, put it on its own dedicated 20 amp breaker, and then move on. So we are gonna plug this into a watt meter so we can get the exact power usage. So physical setup, first and foremost, you plug in your Wi-Fi adapter, then you plug in your power cord. It's going to then fire up. We're gonna hit the power switch on the back, and let's hope the breaker doesn't pop. All right. Oh, those fans are kicking up. Let's hear. Yep, fans are ramping up in the back. And now we're going to open our Canaan family app, Avalon family app rather. Well, this thing's getting on there, getting going. So far we have a Mini 3. If you don't know what that is, check out the video above. That thing has just been mining away, earning a couple bucks a day, but with winter coming, that thing's gonna be amazing because it's gonna heat the space while mining. So that's first step. Now we're going to, we also have some Nano 3S's on this app, but we're going to go to, once we open the app, in the top right corner, there's 3 lines. You can hit scan, or you can hit plus sign for new device. So first we're gonna try the scan and see if it actually pulls it in. There should be a QR code. So I hit scan and it brings up your camera. And then there's a QR code here on the back. If it'll focus on it though, that's the question. Please approach your device. Now I'm gonna hit search. And then it worked. So there's a barcode right on the back, a QR code. And then it searched, I scanned it, and then it says approach it, and now it does show on the app as a Q_2, and then a number, bunch of numbers. And so now we're going to click the little Avalon Q guy, and then it says, please confirm that this machine is about to be connected. So we're gonna hit connect. And now it says connecting, and it's spinning. It shows it right up in the corner. We'll pop screenshots up of this thing. Now it says set up Wi-Fi for your device. So now we're gonna hit the little drop down for the Wi-Fi, and it should show our available Wi-Fi networks. And then we're gonna select one of those and put in the password. And then we're gonna hit save. I should have mentioned, we're setting this up on Wi-Fi first, just to get it going, and then we'll probably just switch it back to direct plug Ethernet once we move it into the layer, the mining headquarters rather, not the layer. Yeah, I have the mining layer, the mining headquarters, and the man cave, the main studio that we're in. Okay, so now it has been added to the app. It shows it down here in the bottom corner, and it says mode super. So it's gonna try to fire up on super mode right off the bat. I'm gonna click on it, and it says security alert. New device joins, recommended to change password. We're gonna cancel that. But now we're into it, right? And it's right off the bat, the main dashboard shows the Wi-Fi network. It shows whatever room we have set it up as, work mode. So then we have a work mode, eco, standard, super. We're gonna drop this thing down to, oh, it's not gonna let us yet, huh? So next we're gonna hit the settings gear, and we're gonna go into our settings. That's where we're going to put in our pool configuration, and we're gonna set this thing up to mining. So from there we have the tab that says pool config. We're gonna hit the 3 little dots. Now it doesn't actually come pre-populated. A lot of Asics will come pre-populated with whatever their default pool is, and that way as soon as you plug it in, it fires up, it starts mining. This one, however, does not. It has 3 tabs. where you can put 3 different pool addresses, and then there's actually a button that says solo mode as well. So if you were going to put this on a solo pool, you would hit the solo mode, which is kind of odd because a lot of the pools you put that as the address, so I'm not sure why you would have to actually click that. I might need to look into that one more, because you would just put, if you were doing CK pool, you'd solo.ck pool is the actual mining address. So anyhow, we're going to go ahead in the pool config. We're going to put in our pool address first. If we were using like CK pool, we do solo.ckpool.com, maybe .com, whatever it is. And then we would put our worker, which would be our Bitcoin address, dot our worker name, which we would name something like Avalon Q, and then for our password, we put in our password, we'd hit save. But for this, you have to put it in all 3. You have to have 3 pools in, so you could use the same one in all 3, or you could put 2 different fallback pools in there, so that if for some reason it disconnects from the main pool, it rolls over to the next. If it disconnects from the next, it rolls over to the third, and then it rotates until it actually gets back onto a pool. So we're gonna go ahead and time warp. We're gonna get a pool config in here, and then we're gonna fire this thing back up. Ready, go. And boom, just like that, we've got all of our pools in there. We haven't hit save yet, because as soon as we hit save, it's going to restart. So what do we use? We used via BTC. On via BTC, you actually have to register and create your own username. And then so for the Stratum address, we used the main suggested and the 2 fallbacks that they give us. The main was like Stratum plus TCP : bitcoin.viabtc.io. The other 2 are very similar, and then it has, well, that port is 3333 at the end. And then the 2 and 3 are very similar, but they have different ports. So we'll pop all those up on the screen if you want those. And then the username, instead of using your Bitcoin address, you're actually using the user ID that you registered with on via BTC dot your worker name. Your worker name can be whatever you want it to read. For me, I made it Avalon Q. And so that when I go into via BTC and look at my account, it will show this thing as the Avalon Q. And then we're gonna just hit save, and we're gonna see if this thing fires up. It says the device will automatically restart after you save it. Are you sure you want to continue? And so we're gonna say okay. And then it says to enter the device password. And then we're going to enter the default password, which should be admin, all lowercase. If you haven't changed it yet, we're gonna set it up, then we'll go back in and we'll change the password. So the default password was admin, it did work, it hit save. Now this thing, there it goes. All right, so we're rebooting. And it says disconnected in the app because it's restarting. It shows only 22 watts as it's attempting to fire back up. Oh, it's up to 100, 300, 383. Okay, it's firing up. 478, 523, 600. This thing's building up quickly. 728, 850. We're gonna let this thing go, and hopefully it doesn't pop off our breaker. We're over 1,000, 1,093, 1,100. 1,300. It's still not reading in the app any kind of hash rate yet. It takes a while. 1,400, 1,500. We're at 1,515 watts. 1,520. It's kind of slowed down at 1,520. 1,530. Still not reading yet in the app. So let's time warp a little bit in the future and let this thing do its thing, and we'll come back. Go. All right, we're back. We haven't popped the breaker yet, but we're at 1,793 watts at the wall. It is finally registering on that, but only at 4.8 terahash so far, as it's still building up. Over 1,800 watts at the wall now for something that says on the website 1,600. It says 1,680. Yeah, this ain't 1,680. 1,815 at the wall. Still slowly going up. Man, this thing is cranking out some heat. You're not gonna wanna put this on super mode in a room that's not gonna be adequately cooled, because man, it's putting out a lot of heat out of this side. It's pulling through the front panel, pulling through and doing a pass through right out the back. A couple big server fans. So I think it's settled. It has settled at 1820 watts at the wall on super. That's a lot of juice. We're gonna let this run for a little while. We're gonna get the specs on how much hash rate it'll actually pull with that. And then we're gonna try the other modes. We'll come back and give you what each mode is actually doing for us and not what they actually advertise, so that you have the real facts. So yeah, let's time warp. Go. All right, we got all of our testing in. We've only run this for a few hours, but we got some good base numbers for the different modes. And if you really want more accurate numbers, you really should probably run a 24-hour test on each mode to get what it's actually hashing at the pool, and then get maybe an average of the readings at the wall to get what you need. But we're gonna give you the base numbers that we had gathered. First and foremost, this thing has this little display up here, is really nice. It toggles between the IP address that it has picked up, the local IP, and then it will flash to the actual hash rate that it thinks it's running, the hash rate and the power usage on the little display. Now, of course, that's a little bit different from the hash rate at the wall. So when we figured out our efficiency, we used the wattage at the wall and then the hash rate on the device itself, not necessarily at the pool. So let's pop those results up on the screen, the nerdy numbers as we call them, and we'll give you the three different modes. The three modes we ran on super, we had 16, so we did advertised watts is what it says it should use. Then we did the watts on the display, then we did the watts at the wall, and we did the hash rate in the software and on this, because they match. And we gathered the efficiency our efficiency is actually watts at the wall versus the hash rate on the device. So super mode 1674 is advertised, but at the wall we're actually running 1820 watts. We didn't pop the breaker in here because we had everything else shut off. However, we did pop the generic surge strip, so we had to get a better surge strip so that it wouldn't pop when this thing was under full load and running. Yeah, 1820 watts at the wall. The hash rate was 92.1, so it's up and above the 90 advertised. Running an efficiency of 19.76, which is pretty solid efficiency. Not great, not bad, just kind of okay. Then we went to standard mode, and the advertised is 1300 watts. It actually was using 1473 watts at the wall versus the 1436 on the device. Then it was running a hash rate of 80.29, so the efficiency went up quite a bit, just switching modes, dropping the mode down to standard. 18.34 is the new efficiency. Then we did the final test on eco mode, and it advertises 800 watts, but it actually was using 882 watts at the wall, 880 on the display, with a hash rate of 53.67, an efficiency of 16.4. That is very, very efficient. Now my man RPM, again, when he did his testing, he had 15.5 on his efficiency, and you know, results will vary a little bit depending on the quality of your your chips. So that is what it is. That's still a really, really good efficiency. And this thing, it is putting out some heat, but it's not putting out like an insane gross amount of heat like the like it was on super mode. It's really whisper quiet on low. This thing is quieter than some of my desktop towers, especially if you've got it under full load or gaming. I'm not even sure if that's registering well on the mic, but it's really quiet. It's working really well. Super stable so far. Again, we've only been running this thing for a few hours, but we will move this to the mining headquarters, and then we're going to direct plug the Ethernet on it. It is hashing away on via BTC, showing all the shares, not showing any rejected yet. So on Wi-Fi, that's pretty good. So yeah, there it is. It's currently running 882 watts at the wall, and it is running at 53.82 terahash on 882. So yeah, it's pretty close to what we had for the eco mode. And we're gonna let this thing run on eco mode. Just for reference, our Mini 3 miner is running 40.51 terahash, and it's running around 880 watts at the wall. So it's actually using about the same power, the Mini and the Avalon Q on eco mode, but this thing's getting about 13 to 14 more terahash. So that's pretty impressive. Well, let's talk profitability real quick and whether or not you should buy this thing. Profitability and should you buy? Okay, so if you were running this on, we're gonna use our actual hash rate and power usage to get the calculations. We used hashrate.no to plug these in with the SHA-256 algorithm on Bitcoin to get how much we would actually make per day pool mining. So if we're using high mode, we would be losing 68 cents per day, negative 68 cents per day to run this thing. We would be running on medium mode, we would be losing 29 cents a day. And if we were running on eco mode with our exact settings and efficiency, we're actually making a whopping 14 cents per day. So if you're making 14 cents per day profit from Bitcoin and you're selling it the day you get it, and that all would stay the same, it would take a really, really long time to pay off a near $2,000 Asic. However, hear me out, not financial advice, but there is added utility in a device like this or the Mini 3 is the heat factor. I put this in my mining lair headquarters, and it actually radiates heat under the entire house, and that heat comes up through, cuts down the heating bill. So where we're putting more power into this, we're actually getting added benefit. Now, the other thing is that we're not selling the Bitcoin that we're earning. We're going to hold that Bitcoin. We're gonna hold that Bitcoin till it hits 200,000, till it hits 250,000, till it hits 1 million, and then we're gonna liquidate it. So whatever we actually made, multiply that by the new earnings, it will pay itself off in those kind of means. Is it better to just buy the coin? That is completely up to you. If you wanted to just invest in the Bitcoin, buy the Bitcoin. Personally, we love the technology. This thing is very efficient. All of our calculations were based on 12.5 cents per kilowatt hour. That's what we're using. So if you're at 20 cents per kilowatt hour, this kind of device is probably off the table for you. Again, 12.5 cents kilowatt hour, running 800 watts. We can afford to burn that extra electric to stack that Bitcoin for the future and build our portfolio. Okay, so what about you? What are your thoughts on the Canaan Avalon Q? It's a pricey ASIC. It's designed for an at-home miner to a mid, more enthusiast type. This isn't a entry level, as it's more in the $2,000 range. It's not earning that much because unless you have really great electric rate, but there is the added utility. So tell us your thoughts down in the comments below. Did you pick one of these up? My man Sloth Squatch and I definitely picked these up at the same time. Shout out. We both ran into some huge issues. Again, stay tuned for that video in the future. We're gonna go over the saga of the Avalon Q and why it took us months to actually get this thing and get it set up. But I think that about wraps it up for today. If you're new to mining and need some help, join the Misfit Mining Discord. Always plenty of seasoned vets in there willing to help you out. And if you like the video, you know what to do. Smash that like button and subscribe for future content. Thanks for coming along and enjoy the ride. 1,700 watts mining Bitcoin on this thing. Let's save the planet, baby. That's what I'm talking about.